Welcome to California School News Radio. Here are your hosts, Kevin Osmus and Drew Schlossberg.
Good day. This is California School News Radio, the voice of education in California. Each week we bring you newsmakers from the world of education to discuss what's going right in our schools from the perspective of administrators, teachers, students, parents, and community members. I am Kevin Osmus from VMA Communications, and not with me today is my colleague and co-host Drew Schlossberg. Drew's off this week, and I know we got some Drew fans out there going to be a little disappointed, but don't be.
We love you, Drew.
We love you, yes. Well, we have an excellent show for you today, so stay tuned, stay right where you are. We don't often dedicate an episode of California School News Radio to school spirit, but when you see school spirit out in full force, it can have an amazing impact on the students, the school, and the community. Recently, in Fontana Unified School District, the Chaparral Academy of Technology, formerly Chaparral Elementary School, was the grand prize winner of the Josten's Renaissance Epic School Revamp Challenge. This is a national contest where schools from across the country submit videos documenting their spirit activities and detailing why their school should receive an epic makeover. The video Chaparral submitted was witty and heartwarming, with lots of clips of fired up students engaging in these spirited activities, as well as shots, and this is what I think really sold it, the shots of the white bare walls of the school and how it would look once they're exploding in color. Video did its job. Chaparral won the grand prize, and the details of what we won, we'll get that in just a second. And how surprised are we here at California School News Radio to learn that the prime motivator of the video submission and subsequent grand prize winner is our old friend Tim McCaffrey, longtime principal of Almond Elementary School.
I'm getting old.
Yeah, well, you know, we're all getting old, Tim. We're all getting old. We all age the same pace. We met him there several years ago. Now, Tim's in his first year at the helm of Chaparral, and he went there. And we'll learn more about that. And he hit the ground running in his patented, energetic, and motivational style, and determined to bring back road runner pride. He's back with us today to talk about the epic revamp and everything that went to the video and all things happening at Chaparral. And also with us today, I'm very proud to say, is Chaparral kindergarten teacher Shawna Corona.
Good morning.
Good morning, Shawna. How you doing? She is a teacher leader at Chaparral and amazingly has been at the school since its inception in 2001. She has seen it all and was also a key part of the video submission. So Tim, Shawna, welcome to California School News Radio. Good to meet you. Tim, good to have you back. Wish Drew was here. He congratulate you. Well, let's get on. Tim, you've been on the show a couple times before in 2021. You were doing great things at Almond, but let's get right into Chaparral. Really, it all happened on that first day, didn't it? Talk about the, Talk about that first day and how it really started to, and just what was the whole thought process about having this big, huge, epic first day?
Sure. Yeah. And I actually do want to just make one small comment about your introduction, how you said that your news radio focus on what is going right, like in our schools, and there's so much to celebrate. All the schools are doing amazing things, and so just our hats off to you guys for just making a production like this on highlighting the immense work happening. But yeah, our first day, our goal was to make it epic, where we wanted scholars to go home. Okay, right. So what we didn't want kids to go home is parents ask their kid, "Hey, so like, how was school today?" "Oh, it was good." Nah. We wanted them to be like, "This was the best day of my life," right? Like that's what we wanted them to say. And so I met over the summer with the instructional leadership team. We started popping ideas back and forth, and everybody was jazzed. And I could just tell, man, this is going to be an amazing journey here, because every one of them was just so pumped to jump in.
Okay, and then Shawna, you've been there since 2001. You've seen it all. You've seen some good years, some up years, some down years, and then going into this year, what was your mindset? How well were you? Did you know Tim beforehand? Did you work with him at all before he came here to Chaparral?
So I have worked with Tim before. I was on some district committees, and Tim was a math coordinator. And so I worked with him from afar. He was more middle school and I was elementary school, of course. But coming in, we had met him at the end of our school year last year. And like he said, he met with the leadership team over the summer. He had some as his words are, epic ideas. Usually Chaparral would celebrate the first day of school, just kind of teachers in their own individual classrooms doing their own thing. But this year it was more about the whole school and celebrating every kid and welcoming them in the most outstanding way we could. We still have kids saying that that was the best first day of school they've ever had. I have, little ones, parents, all kinds of stuff. So it was a little scary for teaching kindergarten to take 5-year-olds into this big assembly, only knowing them for about 10 minutes. Their parents hand them off to me, and I had to usher them into the cafeteria full of students and teachers, and I had only known them for about 10 minutes. So I was really apprehensive, but it was incredible. The way that Tim had it set up for us and just the activities going on, they were stoked. The little ones were so excited, and I think that was contagious moving all the way through so far this school year.
Well, it's an amazing, what I saw in the videos was amazing. So all the kids have different colored headbands, and it's a game. I forget so it's centered around gaming. So everybody like big Mario cutouts and everybody, and princesses and all that. I don't know all of the characters there, but there were games. There were kids like, shooting into a barrel. You had kids on, I don't know, like little vehicles and races and everything. So just talk about all those different things that you had to plan them all and do them all, and that takes a lot. It takes a lot. So Tim, Shawna, just kind of talk about those, where you landed on that, and why you thought gaming. What kid can't resist something like that, right?
No, right. And part of that summer planning was, how do we create a theme that all of our scholars and our faculty can get behind? And so we want to do a Super Mario theme. And our theme motto was level up your A game. And what we did was that we chose like 5 characteristic traits that start with A. And so what we did was that, okay, so if we're going to have the Super Mario theme, leveling up your A game, let's put everybody on a team. Or like, as other schools may call it, houses. And so we had the Princess Peach and the Toads is one team, Mario and Luigi, Bowser and the and the Koopas, and then Donkey and Diddy Kong. And so that's why on the first day everybody got their team color and they were sitting with their team. And then so that's what all of the games kind of wrapped around, was around Mario gaming. Even like the one, like the video part where you saw them on the little carts, that was like Mario Kart. And they got to like race around. And it was cool because like kids are inside of the loop of the track, somewhere on the outside. So it was just really epic. Everyone's cheering, you got the lights going, and they're like skidding around and someone's pushing them. It was just pretty sweet.
It was a really fun day to kick off the school year. So it got kids excited to be here, and they wanted to come and see more and do more and figure out, what is this 4 houses about? What is this Mario theme about? And that was just the best way, I think, that just to engage them for the rest of the year, to get them hooked.
Yeah, no kidding. Because, you come in, you got your kindergarten kids, they've never been to school before. This is their first day.
Right.
They don't know what to expect. Suddenly they're like at like a huge event, like a birthday party or something like that, where they're playing games.
And you know what the most amazing thing is Tim uses that as the intro to our morning announcements. And so my kids are watching this on this big screen TV that we have in our classroom. And by the way, Tim brought those to our school too. The big TV is amazing. But we watch these morning announcements, and it's like a recap of that day, and they point themselves out and they're screaming, remember this, remember that. And so it's like vivid every day when we watch it. It's incredible.
And honestly, they're not going to forget that. I don't think something like that can happen when you're so young and have such an impression on you at school.
Right,
where you're just going to keep remembering, that I love school because the first day I came, we had a party, and the party was for us students, and who does that, right?
Right.
And the good news just keeps continuing, because at some point or another, and you'll have to fill me in here, you heard about this contest, Josten's Renaissance. Now we know Josten's, it's the yearbook people, the class ring people, but this was a specific division of Josten's that's dedicated to leadership and school climate and culture and everything. And they've had this contest. I guess they introduced it last year, was the first year. They had a winner. I think, believes a high school in Arkansas that won it. How did you find out about the video, and And then how did you go about putting it together?
Yeah, so our plan is to become a Josten's Renaissance School of Distinction, and so given that that is our goal eventually, I was on their email list, right? And so I get their monthly emails on like challenges like you can do to bring up your school climate and culture, and so part of that was, hey, here's this competition, this nationwide competition. And it was pretty simple. Submit a 3-minute video on why does your school need to be revamped. And it was pretty general. There's not a lot of guidelines other than you have to involve your school, to tell a reason why, and your principal must also be in it as well. So yeah, like if the listeners, if they also watch that as well, like you're going to see that we showcased to our school, and our big thing was that kids actually do want to be at school here, and we're creating this immense wave of just scholars belonging here. And the missing part now is when you walk our walls, it is so plain. There isn't anything really to inspire, to tell our story, to say like, what does it really mean to be a roadrunner? And that was our big push in that video, is that this company can help us define what it means to be a roadrunner and make that extremely known to our scholars and our community.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, and then here's what you brought, Tim, because I don't know how many schools do you think submitted? Do you have any idea across the country? I'm sure it was like
I
hundreds,
think
if not thousands.
they said about like 85 or so in the
85?
country.
Okay. But you have a secret weapon. You're the Pacer Production Studios at Almond Elementary. You're down with the tech. You kind of know what to do. You're connected with all these people that can help you with this. So I kind of think that some of your experience, kind of leading a TV and film platform at a different school, brought with you kind of like some ideas and to make this video really resonate. And Shawna, you're a big part of this because you're in the video. You come in, you're the second one in. You talk about being at the school since for the whole time that it's been there, since its inception, and you get a little bit of emotional there, don't you? You kind of teared up a little bit. Talk about that.
I did.
Like I said,
So Tim,
that's great for a video like this, right?
I hate her later on.
Keep thinking about that. My boys tell me I can cry on the drop of a hat, but I wear my heart on my sleeve for sure. When Tim came to me and asked me to be part of the video, I was honored, first of all, and then I was so super excited. Chaparral is my home. I started my teaching career here at Chaparral, and I'm gonna retire a legend here, I hope. So Chaparral is a place where when I was having some rough times in my life, it was my home, and it always has been my home. The kids that come through here are my kids, and so to be part of that video and to make Chaparral even a better place than it already is for me was hands down, like no doubt I was going to do it for him. So
Right.
yeah.
And then how involved were you in the planning of these first day activities and so forth?
Well, as part of the leadership team, we helped Tim. We didn't come up with the games. That was all his idea, but just coming up with a theme and dividing into the 4 houses, making sure that all the staff that were part of those teams knew what they were doing, getting the kids involved. So yeah, I would say pretty integral. I didn't get to plan the games. He's the mastermind behind those, but he killed it, nailed it out of the water.
Well, yeah, let's talk about some of those games and talk about the leadership team, because obviously, you need a lot of people to do something like this successfully. So if you want to be able to shout out some of your outstanding staffalty there, you feel free to shout out at will.
Yeah. So we have one teacher lead, a grade level representative from every team. So kindergarten right here, Miss Corona.
Yes.
And first grade we have Miss Z, Miss Zasweta. In second grade, we have Miss Too Good in the house. Third grade, we have Mr. Skelton. Fourth grade, it's like a 4 or 5 combo, but fourth grade, Miss Cruz. And then last, fifth grade is Miss Brooks. And we have one classified staff who is our community liaison, Mrs. Vanessa.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but though, like you said, you as a leader, you need to not only cast a vision, but like have people that want to rally around the vision and that you cast. And so it is extremely important to me that I just throw ideas out there, and other people can change them and make them better. They can put their ideas out there and let the best idea rise. And then now let's all work together to make it happen. And so not just this first day of school, but even like a lot of the things that we've done here on our campus is we try to involve as many people as possible, get people's input, because they feel like, man, like this is our campus. We are all part of this, and what I bring to the table is valuable.
Yeah, something I want to throw in there about that is that I've been here a long time, and I've been part of the leadership team since we got here. Different admin coming in, but we've never had anyone also involve our classified employees, which is custodial, librarian, the noon supervisors. He has the kitchen cooks. He has incorporated and made feel included all of those people. And so it's not just a leadership team for teachers. That's why he calls it staffalty, because it's all of us. And I've never had an administrator do that. And it's incredible, the buy-in and the power behind it that we've seen.
And Tim, we've got to get a hold of the Oxford people, right? Because staffalty, I mean, that's you have made this word. You have mashed it up. It makes complete sense. It's I have trouble sometimes with these mashed up words. I mean, don't get me started on ginormous. So
that's not my word, by the way. That actually it does come from Josten's Renaissance. And if you were to look up what is staffalty, usually the first page it comes up is on the Renaissance website. And basically, staffalty are all of the adults on campus that pour life into kids. They're cheerleaders, mentors. They're there to guide the children on campus. And so that's why every single adult like on a campus has that opportunity. And when you realize it, like, man, today, man, if I just know that I can have a deep impact on someone's life, it doesn't matter what you do here on campus, you are making a difference.
Absolutely.
And I feel like putting them as part of the teams, as the houses from our Mario theme, he incorporated them in, and you see them competing. I mean, it's there, they're down. So it's really great. They've stayed after hours. They're more involved with the kids, more invested. It's really, really cool to see.
Well, that's something because, it's not like teachers have an easy day to begin with, right? They have a pretty full day. Well, the teachers seem to me, they get up at 4 or 5 in the morning, right? Go to bed at 10 or 11, and still working that whole way. So the fact that you can get people and then get a little bit more out of them, the kids win. In the end, the kids are the winners here. But also, technically, in this contest, Chaparral is the winner. Josten's Renaissance chose Chaparral to be the grand prize winner. And we haven't gotten into what exactly you win, but it's a prize package worth close to $150,000. That's a lot of improvements there. That's a lot of stuff to go up on the wall. So, Shawna, Tim, talk about what you're going to win. And I know it's not going to happen, it's not going to debut until the beginning of next school year, but what's in store for the school for this epic makeover?
Yeah, and actually some of those things are already put in motion right now. So for instance, we have already been working with a graphic artist from Josten's Renaissance to what is our rebranding going to look like. But that all came from surveys that we sent out to the parents and to all of our faculty here. It was like six questions that really trying to gather input from everybody. And then it was just actually last week where we actually met together to review of the data by, his name is John Jensen. He's one of the directors from Josten School, Mark. And he facilitated that kind of conversation. And we actually determined what it means to be a road runner. Now, I'm not sure if I want to reveal that quite yet. I think we want to wait for the grand reveal, but I'll tell you this. Everybody in that room was like, that is it. That's exactly what it means to be a road runner. And everybody is so pumped. And I got to tell you guys, I know you guys are just listening right now. You can't see this, but our mock-ups have been so sick. Like they look like, man, it is like a whole revamp. We're coming with fire here. I just can't wait until next year where we can reveal all this.
Who knew a Roadrunner could be that amazing?
That's right.
Who knew? Not me.
I'll tell you who. Bo Diddley. Bo Diddley knew that. I'm a road runner, baby. Beep beep. Okay. Love that song.
Who's that?
Love that song. And so, well, just.
But though, so to answer your question, I don't even think I answered it. But like, what are we going to get, right?
Oh yeah.
Back to that. So we're revamping our logo, our motto, and then what comes after that is the big thing, which is then putting up the wall wraps, murals around campus that will tell that story. But in addition to that is the Josten's Renaissance National Conference, and we are taking a huge group down there, and this is what's so exciting is that we're going to have an opportunity to not just participate in this conference, but there is a planning session with it. There is a leadership component to it, and they walk us through how do we live out this new vision of what it means to be a road runner. So it's not just something that lives on a wall, but it's something that we actually live out each and every day, and that is our vision in everything that we do. And so those things have also started to get in motion in registering already and getting the hotels ready. So things are in full motion right now. And I think lastly is we have now a year's worth of consultation and the leadership curriculum online from the company as well.
Well, that's that's just crazy, And so who else going to, you say a large contingent going to the conference? Is that going to include faculty and students?
So not scholars because
scholars. I'm sorry, I keep saying students,
so
but it's scholars. Yeah.
Because we're in elementary, typically because at this conference you're going to see a lot of high school and middle school kids there. So it's not really recommended that when we're at an elementary school that you take elementary age kids. So it's just going to be faculty. So we are taking 17 of us, and which is going to be a pretty large group.
Well, that's a large group. Yeah. But you going down? Sean, I assume you're going to this conference.
I was the first one to sign up.
Absolutely. So, and what of it? Do you know what? So, it's just leadership, and do you really have any idea what's going to go on there, or did you just tell me and I forgot, or I don't know?
No, I went to a Josten's Renaissance Global Conference in Florida back in 2018, and that literally changed my life.
Like, I tell him he drank the Kool-Aid.
Okay.
I drank it. I jumped in the Kool-Aid. Like I jumped in it. I was swimming in it. I mean, I'm telling you come back so pumped. They throw the most gnarliest rally like you have ever been to. Every breakout session is full of so much energy and ideas and like-minded people of creating this culture where you want to just be part of. And you just really come back so enthused on, man, I want my campus to be like this. I want to love Mondays, love Tuesdays, any day of the week. And so you get empowered to do that at this conference.
Well, again, it's just I wish that anybody that doubted public education and what it can do for children and the world and everything would sit down and talk to you too for just 5-10 minutes, whatever, because they would learn very quickly just how great public education is. I think that you, Tim and Shawna, you can just represent just the greatness and the spirit of public education. Just to talk to you, we've been 20 minutes or so, and just it's everything. It's just been super enthusiastic and fun, and you want to do extra and you want to do more for the kids. So thank you for that. I don't really there's no question attached here, but just thank you just for being so enthusiastic and there for your students and your community, because that is just something. And I think that's what everybody in the in the country or the planet needs to know, is that you send your kid to school. These are the people that are taking care of them right here. Okay. And so they're in good hands. And
awesome. Appreciate it. And if I could just make one comment to any leader that is out there, because I love talking with leaders and learning from them and sharing also my experiences. here's my one just huge nugget of just something to take right here, and that is that you really have you've been given this amazing gift to lead a school. And when you just reach out to those that are at the school that want something magical to happen, there are people at every school that are willing to do that. So go and find them and learn from them and get inspired by them as well, and take a risk, right? Because like you got to take a risk when you do stuff like this, because it's not going to be in that pretty a little box. Everything, it doesn't always work out, but I think that just what Shawna is sharing is that she would want this for her own kids.
Mhm.
I would want this for my own kids, and so as a leader, like you can also build this at your school as well.
And just as from a teaching standpoint, it's contagious. So when you have a leader like Tim come to you and say, "Hey, I want to do this," and of course he like he said, he came to those that he knew were ready for it, but then it kind of trickled down too, and it's contagious. And now everyone on campus is drinking the Kool-Aid.
Well, we want to be careful with that particular, but or maybe drinking the Gatorade
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something, or having the Gatorade dumped on you.
That kind of Kool-Aid, exactly, Powerade or something.
Yeah, Powerade. I don't know about Powerade. I like Gatorade better.
Okay.
So epic first day. You send the video. That's going. Eventually you win. But we know that school is not fun. Is not Mario Kart games every single day. So how's the rest of the year going for Chaparral? You had this big kickoff, and it's just the enthusiasm level is just through the roof. So what's going on day to day at Chaparral? What kind of programs you have? Your Academy of Technology. So talk a little bit about that. You were elementary school. I don't know when the name changed, but what kind of technology do the kids learning there? Just to kind of describe a typical day. Shawna, why don't you, or Tim or Shawna, you can start, whatever.
So we became Academy of Technology, I believe it was 7 years ago. We got a grant for a program called Code to the Future. And so we wanted to kind of rebrand, and we became Chaparral Academy of Technology. Code to the Future during COVID kind of went bankrupt and died out. So we were looking for something new, and one of our teachers was doing RoboBlocky as an intervention after school program. And she kind of sold it to us, and it involves coding and robots, and it's all the way from kindergarten up to our 5th grade. And each program is math-based. So it's a math intervention, math program, but then they get to code and work with robotics as well. And so that's something that we've seen math gains in our testing scores with. The kids absolutely love it, and we showcase it every year we call it Tacos and Technology. So we have a big taco night, and we share technology with the parents and what we're doing. It's really, really powerful to see kids from kindergarten all the way to 5th grade being able to explain and utilize robotics to solve math equations.
Yeah. Well, robots, you can't go wrong with robots. I think kids,
Yeah, they're fun.
So, and Tim, well, you're a literacy guy. I know that from way back, from the days of the mobile library over there at Allman. And you had mentioned, so your library is going to be going through some changes too. Is that something new that you're bringing there?
So that's all still in the ideation phase. Our goal right now is to see if we can secure a grant, the money of some sorts that will really continue along on that path, that by 3rd grade, all of our scholars will be grade level readers. That is like a California goal. It is like pretty much every school district's LCAP goal is that scholars are literate by 3rd grade, because just the stats are just so overwhelming when scholars are not, and the repercussions of that. But one of the unique things that we're wanting to do is to create a makerspace that enhances literacy. I think it's something new that I haven't heard of, but I'm just thinking of how do we involve our technology focus, but now literacy is much more than just reading and writing, but it's engaging with the technology to make it more advanced. So one idea is like, for example, if we had like a puppeteering in one corner of our library, where if the scholars are reading a story for like one of their themes in a unit, then they would actually be creating a script and actually, whether it's using our sewing machines and making puppets, or even our 3D printers to make props. But now they are engaging in first person voice, third person voice, and like script writing, and they're actually now learning the technology as well. And then, of course, with our larger population of EL learners, the vocabulary and the sentence structures that they are now using in that kind of conversation is just going to be really out through the roof right there. And so it's just an interesting way that we're trying to see, like, how can we combine both of those things where kids don't even know that they're learning and they're doing things literacy, but they're also doing stuff with technology.
You're fooling them, aren't you? You're fooling them into learning. That's good.
There you go.
Shawna, sewing machines, 3D printers, script writing, that doesn't sound like elementary school to me. That sounds like high school. So much has changed since I've been to elementary school.
Well, and I also do believe that when you set high expectations and you give the scholars the opportunity to actually engage in that they can rise to the level of that right there. And so, and that's why even like in my previous school, like we did an entire video production unit, which is where like you typically don't see until high school, but the things that the scholars were able to produce was only possible because we made a way for it. And I think that we can do the exact same thing here. Is we got to create a way and to give them an opportunity to be creative and to learn those skills earlier.
And yeah, I know that Fontana has put a lot of focus on tech. The kids at Chaparral will be feeding into Southridge Tech Middle School. Is that correct? Which is a Microsoft showcase school, I believe. So just getting the kids to sort of be, well, the kids really are a little bit more, I mean, they're native to this type of a thing anyway. So even in kindergarten, they seem to have, is that true? So the kids coming in now, Shawna, do they have like their own like knowledge of tech a little bit? Whereas in the past, they probably didn't have any kind of knowledge of that.
Yeah, I was just talking to a parent at a parent-teacher conference about this earlier. I transitioned during COVID to, after that, all of my homework has been digital. So all of our students have a one-on-one device. They have laptops. And so all of my homework now is digital homework. I don't send home traditional kindergarten packets. Everything is digital. So my kids are coming in and discovering things I didn't even know how to do on Microsoft. So it's pretty amazing. They come in and go, oh, I'm like, how did you do that? And they're, oh, let me show you. And so when they teach, it solidifies information for them. So they're teaching their parents how to use a computer, and they're those digital natives. That's what it is. And it's like Tim said, when you set the bar high, they can reach it and exceed it. I never thought kindergartners, I've been doing this for a really long time, and I never thought kindergartners could operate and run a robot. When they first brought that to my school, I was like, yeah, what are we going to do in kindergarten? And they can do it. And they show me things daily, like, how, putting sound to it and just different things that they can make the robots do that I didn't even know that they could do. It's pretty incredible.
Well, making learning fun, that is an interesting concept. It seems to be working pretty well at Chaparral.
Yeah.
Let's kind of like backtrack a little bit. Both of you, Tim, you mentioned that you went to Chaparral even before it was really Chaparral, back when it was a bunch of trailers. Shawna, you have been there since it opened its doors at Chaparral. So you both know a little bit about the what it was like in the old days. So just kind of talk about, Tim, talk about when you went there before, your experience there, and then Shawna, kind of follow up with, your first year there and kind of your impressions, and kind of give us that Chaparral Roadrunner history a little bit.
Okay. Back in the days when I was young, I'm not young anymore. Okay, never mind. And they brought that song up right then. Okay. But actually, when I was introduced to the team here, our superintendent and body brought me over and just introduced me. Actually, told a story to everybody. I'm going to share that story right now. We have a park right next to the school, and the same tree, that huge tree that was back then, is still even more large now. But it was so cool that some of those elements are still there. The baseball field is still there. They've now redone the actual jungle gym is different now. But we had a park day over there, and we're playing tag. And I happened to do one of those kind of things when I tag somebody, I quickly whip my head around, and bam, I just hit a pole, just huge knot on my head, right? Just huge knot, blood's coming down, right? And I was like, this is the best day ever.
Okay.
I said that out loud. And when they told me I had to go home, I was like, no, right? Because I had this big old like knot, dude. It was pretty crazy. But I was having an amazing time there. And so, but that is one distinct memory as a Chaparral scholar there. And like you said, like, it wasn't the two-story building that's here now. None of that was here. It was all trailers. I think at that point it may have been like a transition school.
Over school. Yeah,
Because
overflow.
it was overflow school. And they were building other schools in the area like Ken and Chris, because then I went there my 5th grade year. But but it is just it's almost like a dream come true, right? To actually come back and now get to lead at the school that I was once a kid at. And we even still have all the old yearbooks.
Oh, there you
And
go.
I'm even in there. I mean, like, it is so cool to go and look at all that.
Okay, but elementary school, see, that shows you how long it's been since I've been in school. Elementary schools didn't have yearbooks in my day, for sure. So, but you've had one like what every year, Sean? How long do those yearbooks go back?
Yeah, so a big group of us started at a former school called Harupa Hills, and Harupa Hills turned into a 6th grade only school initiative by the district, and so they needed to build us a new elementary school. So about 7 of us came over here, and we're still here. There's a core group of us that have been here since 2001 when the school opened. I brought my own kids here. My 2 oldest boys came to Chaparral and graduated 5th grade, so they were here from kindergarten to 5th grade. It was an amazing. I'm the only one that's ever been in my classroom. Room E3 is Corona room. Like, that's my room. I'm the only one that's ever inhabited that classroom. So I opened the doors. It was full of boxes. We were on staggered schedules because the building wasn't done being built. The cafeteria wasn't ready. The cafeteria was actually in a classroom, and we had to like cycle through. And it was crazy. The bathrooms weren't all done. So we were on different tracks, and we rotated. We had rolling carts, and we shared rooms because the buildings weren't finished. But it was pretty exciting. And we came here, and there was a little bit of landscaping. And the first thing that some of the parents said was, it looks like a prison. And, you drive by and there's nothing. It's so bland and so boring, but there was just a good core group of us, and we were real young, and we, were motivated, and we had some good leadership at the time. And then, we kind of settled in, and things just kind of got stagnant and just kind of complacent, and we were plugging along. We were doing okay, and it just kind of like we lost our spark. People left, people came. There's still a good group of us there's 6 of us that are still here from the original group. And then all of a sudden we get told, hey, you're getting a new admin. We meet this bearded guy, he comes and he meets us, and we all walked away, and we had a little group meeting. He didn't know this. We met outside in the parking lot, and he's touring the school, and we were like, yes, this is what our school needed. And he is exactly what our school needed. We needed that breath of fresh air. We had become kind of, it was just a stagnant place. Like, we're doing our job, but it was like the grind. It was like, oh, day in, day out, Monday. Oh man, how many more years do we have till we can retire? Now it's not like that. It's like, oh man, this is exciting. This is fun. What has he got up his sleeve now? It's pretty fun. Leadership meetings are they're a hoot. The hour goes by really fast. We all throw ideas and bounce ideas off of each other, and it feels like you have a voice, and that I think was missing for a long time. That spark was gone. So now it's, I want to do this incredible lesson because he might be coming in to see it, or I want to do this incredible lesson because these kids, they have all this energy, and it's just fun. It's fun again to be at school, and I really, really love it.
Well, so Tim, when do you think that they're going to build the statue in your honor at Chaparral? And also, I might be a little scared in those leadership meetings, because Tim seems like the guy that would literally throw an idea at you, or bounce an idea at
Literally,
you. Like wrap it up in a piece
Well,
of
yeah,
paper.
well, you want to hear something funny? The 4th and 5th grade cheers, they were doing some PE out there, and I'm walking towards them, with a big smile, and they say, "Oh, so what's your big idea that you have to share?" I mean, I didn't even say anything yet. I was like, "Oh no, like I just want to get you guys' perspective on this," because they know thinking of something, but
Always. His brain is always going.
Well, yeah, we've learned that on California School News Radio, and and just the fact that Tim, Shawna talks about, well, you were touring the thing, and we all huddled up, and usually that's not a good thing. I can tell you from experience in my life, when people have huddled up beyond me, it's like never. But this turned out to be like just like say, wow, this guy, the guy with the beard, he's our savior.
Exactly what we needed. Yeah.
Wow.
It's funny because I'll share stories about this school year, and Tim is really big on social media. So my boys are older now. They're 30 and 29, and they follow our school on Instagram, and they tell me constantly, why couldn't Chaparral be like that when I was there? And they're like, that's not fair. It's just incredible because they went here, 6 years. And so it's just really exciting. They even came back and volunteered for our fall festival.
Yes, I remember
Tim
that.
got to
That's
meet
cool.
them, and they're, grown men coming back into their elementary school just to be a part of it. It's like I said, it's contagious.
Well, now you started in 2001. I would imagine that your first group of students there, your first group of kindergarten students, are probably about the same age then, about 29 or 30 now, about ish.
Kevin, you're aging me.
Well, you're.
I mean, Kevin said like he didn't have your books. I mean, I was kind of aging.
But no, but they're at the point they've been through college. Now they're leading their lives. You see them from time to time? Anybody drops by the school and says, "Hey, Ms. Corona, how you doing? Look what I'm doing."
Yeah, you're going to teach my kindergartner.
Oh.
I have some kids from kindergarten that I have their children in my class. That was when I knew, oh man, I've been doing this a long time.
Full circle right there.
Oh, and it's been great. I've had a family, the Prietos, and I had all the siblings. There's 4 of them, and I had them. And then I had 2 of their daughters. One of the girls grew up and got married, and I've had 2 of her girls. So it's really, really been kind of crazy.
Well, again, that speaks to the community. So obviously, like not all of these kids that have gone to Chaparral over the years have moved out of the neighborhoods. They've stayed and started raising their own families, which really speaks to a community, because I know that there's some communities where you can't wait to get out. But they're staying there. I would imagine there's probably 1 or 2 that have come back and actually work at Chaparral. Have you found that to be the case? Have you got any alumni there, Chaparral alumni? Well, Tim, you technically are a Chaparral alumni working at the school now. So.
There we go. Yeah,
Okay,
we got one at least.
All right, but it'll come. It'll come. You got. I mean, but they're back. They're in the now. You're teaching their kids, and actually this year, if it's this year, they get to go home and tell their parents, "Hey, this is what happened the first year," and they'd be just like your kids, Shawna, just like, "Why didn't
Exactly?"
that happen?" It's like, but you didn't.
Yeah, parents tell us that at pickup, like, "Hey, you never did this for me,"
Well, it's things are, things supposed to get better. So, talk
Right.
talk to the guy with the beard. Okay?
Exactly.
I talked to the man with the beard.
Hey, I'd like to bring in right now. I'd like to bring in our producer and our engineer Neto Cruz. We bring him in from time to time. He is also a former Chaparral student. How you doing today, Neto?
Doing well. Full circle moment.
So here you are, former. Now you only went there 1 year, you said, but that's enough to make you a former Roadrunner. So I don't know, just maybe just talk about your experience. If you have a or a question for the guests, give it a shot.
Yeah. So I was actually coming from the Baldwin Park School District. So it was my first year going to school in Fontana, and it was a great introduction. It was the first time I heard bells that did not sound like bells. So I ducked and covered the first time I heard a bell, because that's what the earthquake drill sounded like in Baldwin Park. So it was a good learning experience. Ms. Joyner was a great teacher. She took over for, I believe, Ms. Sargison that year, 4th to 5th grade. So I was in 5th grade. I enjoyed her class. I learned a lot. And yeah, it was a great experience being, first time student in Fontana.
Hey, did you then live in Southridge?
Yeah, I actually lived down the street on Driftwood. That's where my parents live still. So I would walk to school with one of my soccer teammates. He was in 4th grade at the time, so we just walked together. So it was fun. It was fun being close to school.
big Roadrunner reunion here today on California School News
Yeah.
Radio. Love it. How often do you get a chance to, just talk to people with such enthusiasm, and then you've got, alumni from the school, like, here on the podcast staff. It's just a very, very much a serendipitous, symbiotic program today. Neto, did you have like a question for our guests at all? Do you still live in are you still living in the neighborhood, Neto?
No, my parents still live there.
Okay.
I live in Rancho with my wife,
Okay.
Rancho Cucamonga. So I moved out of the area, but I mean, I still visit my parents, of course, not too far. But yeah, I did have a question. What are some of the biggest differences in student needs that you've noticed during the time that you first started versus now, and whether they were identified at the time or not? Something that you felt, wow, this really did change.
So I noticed that we have a lot of newcomers to the United States. That when we first started Chaparral, we were more heavy on the English only side with some EL learners, and I feel like that's shifted now. In the recent years, we have a lot of newcomers that come and are settling in our community, in our neighborhood, and so we have that challenge of making sure that we reach them and get them to grade level, not only why they're learning English, but also why they're learning to be in the United States as well.
Okay. How's the collaboration aspect been, especially since Tim has arrived? How's that new, fresh perspective brought a different spark to the school?
Yeah, I feel like we collaborate constantly as teachers. Like we have meetings in the hallway. We're, constantly collaborating, and Tim gives us a lot of time to work with our teacher partners, and so our grade level partners. So we also have pullouts with our teacher on assignment that we collaborate during, and Tim set that up where we have time out of the classroom to collaborate together too. But it's going so well because everyone, like I said earlier, and I can't say this enough, everyone has that reignited spark. It's been fantastic.
Awesome. I appreciate the fresh perspective, being able to share and see all the great things you guys are doing. I'm going to hand it off to Kevin, but it's been a pleasure. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Neto.
Thank you for.
All right, great. Heck yeah.
Thanks, Neto. Do you remember the tree, Neto? Do you remember the tree that Tim was talking about at Chaparral Park?
I do not. I was just playing soccer all day at recess, so that's
Okay.
what I remember.
Yeah,
Neto, you're going to have to drive by and see what we do with the place. So when you visit your parents, you're going to have to swing by and see how we got revamped.
All right.
Yeah, let's go.
absolutely.
I'm excited for that. I'll definitely stop by soon.
Well, speaking of which, so the big day, it's not till the beginning of next year, though. So you've got all summer, but I imagine that this is something that everybody is already kind of anticipating then, right? The big reveal.
Right. And actually, now that you brought that up, part of the package is Josh's Renaissance comes and actually throws a big rally for the school to reveal the big revamp, or, of like what we did. And so I'm trying to get that lined up for the actual first day of school. And we'll probably have some other coverage as well during that day. So that will be our big day, which is going to be, I don't know, August, like beginning of August then of when we'll do that.
I don't know if you knew this, Tim, but that's going to be Chaparral's 25th anniversary too.
Oh, let's go.
You're kidding
Yeah.
me?
Fire right
Yeah,
there.
it's our
Holy
25th
cow.
anniversary next year. And so you talk about destiny, Tim coming back to his old school, us winning this huge grand prize, and then it's Chaparral's 25th anniversary.
Well, they got to
It's
know
amazing.
that. The Josten's people got to know that and work
I
that in.
We didn't put it in the video, I don't think, did we? No, I don't know. It's
I didn't even
amazing.
know that right now.
I know.
I'm learning about that.
It gives me the goosebumps. I get
That's
excited.
so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well now we just got to amp it up even more now.
Yeah, right?
Let's go.
It's a big deal.
25 years at Chaparral
Yeah.
Academy of Technology. Now the Chaparral Academy of Technology. That's interesting. It's CAT. Next week, we're going to be interviewing a different CAT, the Cardinal Academy of Technology. I don't think that's ever had. That's a weird programming quirk here on California School News Radio. 2 weeks in a row of CAT guests. So, but we're still here. We're talking with Tim McCaffrey. He is the principal of Chaparral Academy of Technology, and Shawna Corona. She is a kindergarten teacher and teacher leader at Chaparral. They were the grand prize winner in this year of Josten's Renaissance Epic School Revamp, and that means that they are going to have the whole thing revamped, as we said, and have a big party there for the 25th anniversary coming up next August. Which I suppose that California School News Radio, we should also be there somehow to observe
that would be awesome.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll try and do a live remote something. I don't know if we can. So so just an amazing conversation. Just so energetic, so just fired up about education. I guess that's, I just think in terms of fired up. I'm a lot like you, Tim. I do like to kind of bounce around like that. Not so much here at work or on the air, but I'm kind of like that guy too. Most people would say, that's crazy, Kevin. I haven't ever heard you talk. But I'm like you. I'm a little nutty. I just,
We're all nutty in some way.
yeah, in some way. But let's so we could talk about Chaparral for hours and hours. We don't have that time. We're getting towards the end, but we know we can have a little bit of fun here. You know, you guys. I know that you're also planning to revamp the website at Chaparral. You've sent out fun fact questions, kind of like we do here on our questionnaires at California School News Radio, and just kind of like find fun things. I see, Tim, that you like to train for marathons. Are you a marathon runner?
Well, I don't want to say that I'm a marathon runner, as in like I'm always doing them. I'm training for my second one right now.
Okay, well that counts.
I think that they're pretty amazing, and I love the whole journey of it, of like just that grit, right? Like last night, like it was like raining, it's cold, but I'm like, heck no, I'm not gonna be a wussy. I'm getting out there, man. I'm out there. I got my headlamp, and I just like that part of it, where like you get to grow in it, and then of course the day of the event is really cool. But I think really more of the journey. So yeah.
So which marathon did you run? What's your marathon?
I ran the LA Marathon last year.
Okay. All right.
This year I'll be doing the Las Vegas Mount Charleston Marathon.
Okay. And Shawna, you like to run too. I don't know if you run marathons, but you like to get out there every day and do like a 5K or something like that, right?
I do. I have this amazing trail by my house, and I like to get out there. I walk up the hill, but then I always run down. So, and I also did a mud run this year. So that was a lot of fun, and it was all girls mud run in Elsinore, California, and it was so much fun. That was there. Yeah, you know what? I saw a former parent there. She stopped me in the middle of the mud run, and she's like, do you remember Rodolfo? And so parents of Chaparral at the mud run. Yeah,
let's go.
It was amazing.
Putting in the work.
Well, you just never know where you're going to run into people. I remember running into. I was at the LBJ Museum in Austin, Texas, once. Just a very and I was wearing a shirt. It was from my college, Pitzer College here in Claremont, and I'm standing outside the museum, and suddenly this couple look at me. It's like, do you go to Pitzer? It's like, well, I will be going to Pitzer. Well, we're both professors. And it turned out I knew their daughter back here in Claremont, and never met them, but just sort of random, boom, you never know. And that's why, I love those things. So, well, running is something that I used to run myself. I used to do those 5Ks. I never did a marathon. I did participate in a couple times was the Fontana Days half marathon. I don't know are you familiar with that, Tim? Have you done that?
Oh yeah. It goes down in Sierra, right next to my house. Yeah, it starts up in Lido Creek.
World's fastest half marathon. Yeah, because you start up there in Lytle Creek.
Very fast.
And it's freezing. And some people are like wrapped in their, those plastic trash bags when they're up there. And it's like they say,
you're running your fastest to get away from the cold.
Yeah, absolutely. And because they got to bus you up there from like downtown. So they bus you all the way up into the Lido Creek, and then you run back down. Yeah, that was a hoot. Also, well, we can always talk about food. You already mentioned tacos on the show earlier, Shawna, so that got my stomach rumbling. But Tim, you seem to have a sidelight of smoking meats and doing that kind of thing. What do you like? What's your favorite way to smoke meat or dish that you like to prepare?
I'd probably say ribs, hands down.
Mhm.
I love doing the 3-2-1 method, the 3 hours, the 2 hours, 1 hour, and I love doing more of the sweet type of rubs, and putting the brown sugar and the cider in there, and then you wrap it up. You turn up the heat so that it starts to really steam, and I just love it when it falls off the bone. Like it has to fall off the bone. If it's like you have to chew it off, now like you've done it wrong. And it took me many tries to figure that out, but once I got it down. And I'd probably say second is a brisket, just that
Mm.
fat 20-pound piece of meat, a 24-hour smoke right there. And man, when you cut into that, it's just, the juice is just oozing out of it, and it just melts in your mouth. It's probably my two favorite. Probably the best Father's Day gift my wife ever gave me. So to all you wives out there and all that, get your man a smoker. Let's go.
Yeah, well, I can tell you, I got a buddy of mine. He's been doing that for a while. That's been his sideline. It's Smokin' Thorpe's Barbecue. I'm gonna give a plug for my friend over there, and I know that he has a butcher shop because he actually works at a butcher shop too. So, is there a particular place that you go to buy your meat? Because that's the second most important thing of preparing.
Yeah,
You've
Stater
got to get the
Brothers.
good.
They have high quality meat, in my opinion. Stater Brothers.
Okay, all right. And how about you, Shawna?
We almost got to experience Tim's barbecuing skills.
Oh, yeah, like what happened then?
So
Remember
for
that?
Christmas, he was going to treat us all at our Christmas party, and then the winds came to Fontana,
Mm.
and they shut him down, and he had no power, so we did not get to. So we're hoping end of the school year he treats us.
Well, those
Some
winds,
brisket.
we've had enough of those winds,
Yeah.
I think, here already this year.
Yeah.
It's only February, but kind of sick of the winds. But well, you get
Yes.
them there in Fontana, I'll tell you that.
Yes.
All day, every day.
So, alrighty. Well, boy, what a great day. What a great day. I'm so happy to have you on the program. Once again, Chaparral Academy of Technology, Josten's Renaissance, Epic School Revamp Challenge winners this year. They're going to have their entire school rebranded, but the school itself is just so full of spirit right now. I don't know how they'll notice when that happens because they'll just coming to school, walking on air, and leaving with smarts, I guess. And so I'd like to thank our guests again, Tim McCaffrey and Shawna Corona. And as we always do here at the end of every program, we'd like to open it up for if you have anybody that you want to give a shout out or a thank you to, you can do so now. Shawna, we'll start with you. Who'd you like to give a shout out to?
Probably to my co-teacher, Rachel Joyner, that Neto had as a teacher, and probably to my kids for inspiring me to come to school every day. So thanks, boys.
Thanks, kids. We're glad that you're inspired. They're inspiring you. How about
Yeah.
you, Tim?
Well, I think one, just what gets me up every day and what fuels me every day to pour life into kids really is just my relationship with Jesus. And so I just want to first start with that he strengthens me every day, and I just have a close relationship with him. And so that's just what gives me my inspiration every day. And then, of course, secondly, just a shout out to the entire Chaparral faculty here. I have told them this. I've told the teachers here that I would take my own kids and like have them all in their classes. This is a special place right here where people just love one another. They love the kids, and so huge shout out to them. I'm looking forward to the many more amazing things that we're going to do together.
Yeah, we are too. We are too.
Well, I tell you, you two are awesome. We've so much enjoyed having you on the program. And when it gets closer to that August reveal, perhaps we will have you back on and find out how all that shook out. So thank you again for coming on the program. California School News Radio, again, Fontana Unified School District and Chaparral Academy of Technology, Tim McCaffrey and Shawna Corona. I have a few people that I would like to thank. Although Drew is not here today, I'd like to thank my colleague and co-host Drew Schlossberg. He will be back next week. We miss his insight and wisdom. Also, Neto Cruz, our engineer and occasional co-host. Thank you for coming on the program and lending your memories of school. Amanda Nieto, our producer, who gets all of these shows ship-shape and ready to go and booked well into the future. Thank you so much, Amanda. And Andrew Shortle, Andrew Shortle of the hardest working communications team in education here at VMA. I'd like to thank him too for bringing this story to our attention. And last but not least, Val Martinez of VMA for allowing us to do this show every single week and bringing you these great stories that we know that you love. And another one here. So that's it. That's California School News Radio in the books. So come back next week. We'll have another great program for you. And until then, stay safe, stay educated, and we'll see you then.